Up.
Yeah, that bottom one. But see, every man to really know how to hit that bottom or how to lift to hit that bottom and work that middle. She start screaming, saying, "Yeah, daddy, that's it," or she might start cursing or screaming out all types of profanities because he done hit the bottom. When a woman is really liking this man and she's feeling him and what he's doing, especially if she's sneaking around with him and he has nothing to give her and her man is treating her better than he is, he has already gotten her defenses down, but she's very weak, and that's the worst thing that can happen. And that will actually bind her, actually reduce her to a comfort belong to. What I say, who, and then the woman start calling out the man's name, screaming the man's name. Then she let him know she coming. When she coming, she hollering. She calling for him to be all in the bed at night trying to sleep, tossing and turning. They dreaming about it. Lord have mercy. They wake up out their sleep because they dreamt the man done did this to somebody else. And the thought of that, you know, is devastating. That woman's heart get to beating fast. Blood pressure go up. She can't hardly catch her breath. Just to think about that man done rationed that out and laid that out for somebody else and bent them over and talked to them too. Have a master's degree in being played by men, used by men, told everything I want to hear to get me in them positions. And I am, to be honest with you, I'm just going to be real about it. I'm very upset.
Calling the man name.
Yes. And she said, I'm very upset. I don't blame that woman. I'd be upset
tell me about
too.
it. So tell me about it. Tell me about it.
If a man making you do all those things and then you can't get it, I'd be upset too.
Come on.
I'd be upset too. That lady, you know, for a minute there, I thought that lady was peeping in my bedroom. I was about to say, what? Where's she been? You know, I mean, I can't dispute what she's saying, man. When you got somebody that just really know how to make it happen for you, and, you know, the worst thing in the world it could be if it's not your full-time person, if it's not your wife or your girlfriend, you know, like y'all not together in a relationship, man, that could be miserable because she ain't never lying. You probably tossing and turning and shaking because you know where you at ain't where you want to be. You want to be over there where you know you're gonna be getting served correctly. You know, like she said, you become his cum freak.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Can you remember all the men that in your life that ever hit the bottom? Well, I ain't gonna say you. I'm not gonna use you as an example. No, I'm not gonna do that. Do you think women always remember the men that hit the bottom?
Hell yeah, you remember that good. You know, women have a saying, that good. You call it that good because you know that he stays in the back of the mind. He stays in that black book. He stays very deep inside of there because I think that every woman has that one person that if we want to be honest and we want to just, you know, take a look at the men in our life, for each man, you know, he may play a different role. He might, this one might have been, you know, good at providing. This one might have looked good. This one might have been fine. This one might have had money. But honey, that one that has that good, and he just takes you there and he touched the bottom, man, you never forget him. You just can't. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Whenever the conversation's brought up, when the thought brought up, if you're sitting around with women and they say, girl, do you remember so and so? Man, that man was good. Because there are some men who are just natural lovers. They just good.
Do you
they
think
just know how to make a woman feel good. Might not be good for nothing else, but they good for that. They
do
good
you
for
think
that.
A man that hits the bottom, do you think he can always go back?
I'm not going to say he can always go back because it depends on what happened, how he treated her. You know, but if it ended, I would say if it ended where, I mean, maybe he just didn't want to go to the next level or, you know, something where they just ended as friends, man, there's a possibility. I mean, there's a possibility, but you know, it just depends on that woman and her values and morals. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most of the time it's a big possibility. That's where you get that syndrome that some women tend to go back and they'll sleep with always the baby daddy can always sleep with them,
Uh-huh.
because for some women that be that one. A lot of women, that man that they had children for be that one. Or the
Mhm.
first man that they had a child for be that one. But yes, I do believe, in all honesty, that a man that has that kind of physical control over you, you're always attracted to him.
Mhm.
And it's just acting upon that temptation. I think that man can always step in, and shoot a shot, and maybe you'll end up with your legs open. I just, it just depends. Some women, they move on, and they're mature and resistant temptation, and when they done. Now you can reminisce and say, man, he was real good, but what I got, I'm not going to mess up. Because when you find a complete man, that complete man may not necessarily hit the bottom or make you feel, as good in bed, but he brings all the other things in addition, so he could be good in bed.
That nigga gonna
The
always
other
be
guy could just be good in bed. Like
that
out of
nigga.
bed, he
That
might
nigga
not be
gonna
worth nothing.
always he gonna always be able to hit. Or I ain't gonna say always be able to hit. He's always gonna be temptation.
Yeah,
He's
always.
always gonna be temptation.
Always.
So man, like I say, guys, she ain't never yours. It's just your turn.
Well, it depends on if you the one who hit the bottom. She
That's
always
it.
yours.
That's it.
She
If you hitting
always
the
yours.
bottom, then you ain't got that to worry about. You
That's
ain't got that
right. So
unless she unless she run across somebody else to hit the bottom, then y'all neck to neck. Y'all neck
nah.
and neck then. So
Let me tell you,
it boiled down. It boiled down.
there's always something we using the thing of hitting the bottom, but
Mm-hmm,
basically what she's saying is there's always that one man that
mm-hmm,
makes you know how to feel like no other man has ever made you feel.
mm-hmm.
And hopefully you can manage to put him on lock.
Yeah.
Hopefully it ain't somebody else's husband, like she said, because if it is, your ass gonna be crazy, because you gonna be thinking about that man all the time, and that man that's next to you, he just won't do. He gonna wake up and she gonna always be mad.
That
She
nigga
gonna be
no
walking
man's
around
land.
house always mad. He gonna try to touch her and she ain't gonna want his touch. The man ain't gonna know what he done did wrong. Dude, you just not him.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line, and she don't
yeah.
know how to tell you because she cheating.
That's a
You
bad
just
that's
not
a
him.
bad position to be in, man.
You just not him.
When you laying next to your wife and she's desiring another man
Just not him.
like that's that, and you don't even know it.
Yep.
You don't even know it. But then again, you might do because she just ain't gonna be. I don't, man. I ain't gonna even say that because some women never really desire their husband that much.
Hmm.
Not like that. So he might not even have the experience. He might not experienced her in rare form.
Mm-hmm. May have it.
So
May have it.
he might think everything is good.
For him, correctly. Correct. I agree with you 100%, because if a woman finds a man who's good at everything else, like he's a good provider, he's a good father, he makes her feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't just, his bad game is okay, but
Mm-hmm.
it ain't like Big Mike. Yeah, she's going to stay there because he's the complete package, not because he offers the most best sexual experience she ever had.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do marry, women will marry a man or in relationships with men, and a man might say, am I the best you ever had? I'm sure she's not gonna say no, but in our hearts to heart, mm,
It's
he
some
might not
women.
be.
It's some women will.
Oh yeah, some will tell you the
It's some
truth now.
women will tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, some will tell
Especially if
you
she
the
don't
truth.
have no, especially don't have no respect for you. She'll just straight out tell you, no,
I mean, they ain't got
no,
nothing to do with
hey, you,
respect. So you ask the question.
man.
What would you
if
do?
if she had respect for her, she probably gonna. She might not lie, but she gonna shade the truth a little bit. But if she ain't lost some kind of respect for you, she'll be like, "No, you ain't the best.
So,
You ain't even close to being the best."
so you think she should lie to you? You
Most
man
women do.
enough to ask
Most
the
women do
question,
lie.
but you want the lie. You don't want the truth. Then you want the lie.
First of all, you right. You shouldn't be asking that question.
Exactly.
Because if you the best she ever had, she just gonna come out and tell you.
Exactly. That's right.
If you the
So,
best she ever had, she just gonna come out and tell you, and that's gonna be it.
or you know that other favorite line y'all like to say, is it good to you, baby? Is it still good to you? Is it good to you? Or who is this for? Who is this for? Knowing goodness well, you might not want to know the answer to that question. So why ask it? But they will.
That that's why I don't ask questions. I let her do the talking. I don't ask questions. I let her do the talking. And once I find out the answer, I ask the question that I already know.